Hi everyone, so in this video I'll be sharing with you another technique of skinning, and that is by entering values for the different sets of vertices. Okay, so now what I'll do is, for example, okay, I'm going to just concentrate on the thigh and the knee vertices here, okay, or maybe the whole leg vertices, right? So these are the ring of vertices that I would be probably looking at. Okay, this whole bunch of guys here, right? So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this ring of vertices here, they're going to be 100% skin to these thigh joints. Okay, now and then this ring over here all the way down to the ankle, it's going to be 100% to the knee joint, and these guys at the middle of the intersection area here, the joints. Okay, so there's about 1 2 3 4 5 rings. Okay, so with these 5 rings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the center ring is going to be 50% to the knee and 50% to the thigh, so they're going to share this equally. Okay, now and then the other 2 rings, right, this probably going to be like, for example, 70% to the thigh and 30% to the knee, whereas the ring here, okay, it's going to be 70% to the knee and 30% to the thigh. So in a way, you kind of block out the different ring of vertices. Okay, you tell Maya Skin that, okay, please follow whatever percentages that I apply for you. Okay, and how to do this? Okay, we are going to look at the window. Under General Editors, you will find one called the Component Editor. Okay, so I'm going to click on Component Editor, right? And under Component Editor, you will find what we call the Smooth Skin. Okay, so Smooth Skin is where you can control the skinning. Okay, now if you can't see all the joints that is attached to your mesh, right, what you do is you go to Option. Okay, for example, I only see like ball foot, knee, thigh, toe, thigh, for example. So what I need to do is I just go to Option and uncheck Hide Zero Column. So if I uncheck this, I should be able to see all of my joints, right? So with this, okay, let's start. Okay, so I'm going to start with this ring here, this one. Okay, you can click on one and double click on the next to select the whole ring. Okay, so this particular block of vertices, I'm going to give it a value of 1, okay, or 100% to the thigh joint. So I'm going to find my left thigh. So here you go, left thigh. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the first column. Okay, this is the one of the vertices. I'm going to scroll down all the way down. I press Shift and I click on the last column. So this will be selecting all of the vertices here. Okay, how many ever of them? Okay, there's quite a few here. Let me do it again. Right, so I'm selecting the whole column, okay, under thigh, left thigh joint, and I'm just going to enter the value of 1. Okay, so 100% influenced by the thigh joint. Okay, you can see the other joints 0, meaning they are not taking control of these vertices at all. Okay, now I'm going to do the same for, okay, the joints that are around the shin area, okay, or the calf area. Okay, right, so this particular vertices here, I'm going to give 100% to the knee joint. So L underscore knee, GNT, select the first row, scroll down all the way to the last row, press Shift and click it, right, and just enter 1. All of this goes to the knee. Right, then I can go in between, for example here. Okay, now I'm going to select the center one, right. Okay, I'm going to give it 50-50 to the either of them, right? So maybe I start with the thigh. So what I do is I go to the thigh, L thigh, select the first row, scroll all the way down to the last row. I apply a value of 1 first, so 100% it goes to the thigh joint. Right, so now I'm going to give 50% to the knee. So what I do is I select the first row in the L knee. Okay, shift, select the last one. Instead of again pressing 1.0, right, what I do is I just press 0.5, and then you go straight away. You can see on the left thigh it automatically changes. Okay, so that means when I take away 50%, okay, 0.5, what's left in the left thigh is 50% as well, 0.5. Okay, now so over here, these two rings here, okay, that is more towards the thigh. Okay, I'm going to give 100% to the L thigh, right, but I'm going to give it maybe a bit to the knee. So maybe I put like 0.25. Okay, so it's about 75% to the thigh, 25% to the knee. Okay, so the other two rings, okay, which is much closer to the knee, okay, I'm going to give it 100% to the knee. So select under the knee column, press 1, and go to the thigh, put 0.25. Okay, so more influence to the knee, right, than the thigh. Now, so when I lift this up, let's have a look here. This is in IK mode. Oops, I need to enable my controller here. Automatically, you can see I have quite a good deformation, okay, blocked out with this. Okay, but of course maybe over here you can kind of see intersect within one another, right? So I just need to work on those ring of vertices. So what I can do is I can select these vertices here, this ring and the next ring as well. Block by my, there you go, by my manipulator. Now I'm going to select this two ring. You can kind of see now it kind of goes into the other side. Okay, let's press 3. Have a look at it, and you can still see kind of intersect. Okay, not that nice if you kind of look at it. So what can you do? Okay, let's bring back our component editor. Okay, now so you can kind of see it kind of eats into the cuff here. So that means what we can do is we can kind of push it away, okay, from the calf. That means you need to give the knee, okay, this joint here, a bit more power. So instead of 0.25, maybe I give it like a 0.3. You can start to see it kind of rotates, or maybe 0.35. Okay, kind of turn a bit more in that sense. So here you can kind of see it has lifted up a bit more. Okay, so maybe just this particular ring here, okay, instead of 0.35, this will be 0.3. Or maybe 3.5, or even 0.4, for example. Okay, and this ring maybe I change from 0.35. Okay, I'm going to give it more to the thigh. So for the knee, I'm going to give it less, 0.3 maybe. Okay, to kind of balance out. So you can kind of see it kind of curve up and then back to the center. So same for this particular ring here. Okay, so 75% to the knee, so maybe we give a bit to the thigh, a bit more. So instead of 0.25, maybe 0.3. Okay, you can start to see kind of shift. Okay, 0.35 maybe, right? So it kind of ease up, okay, in the intersecting areas here. Okay, which is great. Okay, maybe how about 0.4? Okay, not too bad. Okay, but one thing you do not want to do is you do not want to have such a big gap around the inner side of a joint, okay, especially at the elbow or even at the knee. So maybe we can bring it back down. Okay, 0.35. Okay, not too bad. Okay, maybe I balance off with this ring over here. I want to bring it down a bit, so I give it more to the thigh. Okay, so instead of 0.7, 0.75 or 0.8. Okay, so you can kind of control by rings of vertices, right? And at the end of the day, you can get a very nice, quickly get a very nice deformation. You can block out the deformation. Okay, right, so that's not so bad. Okay, so the next thing what I want to do is, if I take example for the joints, right? So this is the middle section where the toe joint and the ball foot kind of meet, right? So this ring of vertices is going to be the middle section. Okay, so anything in front of it, okay, all this ring of vertices here, they are going to go straight, okay, to the toe joint. Okay, so I'm going to select the vertices here at the front. Right, so the front portion, bring back my component editor. Okay, 100% goes to the toe, L toe joint. So select the whole column, press 1, okay, 100%, okay, to the toe. Now this is the center ring. Okay, so whatever behind it, okay, this ring of vertices here, these are going to go, okay, towards my ball foot. Okay, make sure you can select them. How about this ring as well? Okay, this particular ring here will later give a 50-50 ball foot and also the knee. Okay, so everything here, right at the back of the foot, I'm going to block it out. I'm going to give it to the ball foot, L ball foot joint. I'm going to give 100%. Okay, make sure you scroll all the way down, press shift select and enter value 1. Okay, how about the center ring? Okay, here you go. These rings kind of separate the toe and the ball foot. Okay, so this ring of vertices, okay, I'm going to first give it to maybe the toe. I'm going to give 100%. Okay, select the whole column. Okay, that's 1. And I go to the ball foot column. I'm going to click the first all the way to the end and give a value of 0.5. So they're going to share, okay, 50-50, right? Ball foot and the toe. Right, so now if you have a look, okay, I'm going to go back to object mode. Okay, select my controller. Right, so the moment I kind of bring up the ball roll, okay, you can see this whole portion belongs to the ball foot. Okay, this whole portion kind of stay because it belongs to the toe. It doesn't move. Okay, then you get a very good deformation in the middle here. Okay, right, same as the bottom as well. Okay, nice. Right, at the same time, if you were to do a toe wiggle, you can see only the front will move. Okay, the back of the foot does not move here. Now you're going to fix a few of the rings here. Okay, basically this particular ring here, okay, is having a little bit of a problem because we have not assigned anything to it yet. Okay, we haven't fixed this, so I'm going to select this ring of vertices here. Okay, so this is going to be 50% to the ball foot and 50% to the knee. Okay, so where's my component editor? I have a shortcut here. So I'm going to give the ball foot, I'm going to give it 100% first. And I'm going to go to the knee, so L knee, I'm going to give 0.5. Okay, now let's have a look. If I were to do a ball roll, right, so you get a very nice deformation, right, it's not too bad, okay, quite nice. If now I do my toe wiggle, you don't see, okay, any part of my ankle shifting as well. Okay, so I can quickly now kind of block out the front of the toe, the ball roll. Okay, of course the heel will move both joints, so you can see it works that way. Okay, very good deformation at the ankle as well, quite nice. Okay, the toe banking, not a problem. Okay, toe roll as well, no issue. Right, if I move my foot, the knee, okay, not too bad, not too shabby, quite good. Okay, now then I just need to work on the rest of the body parts. Okay, so for example, if I were to raise my leg, you can kind of see maybe it kind of compress the body too much. Okay, or it kind of look weird here. There's a lot of gap, okay, rounded gap. Okay, what you want is you want kind of like a pinchy kind of a deformation, okay, on the acute side of the joints, okay, and this part, okay, maybe a bit too rounded in that sense, okay. And you can also see from the color, maybe the waist is kind of pull down too much as the thigh kind of rotate, okay. So things like this we can kind of fix, right? So I'm going to give you another example here, okay. It's like, for example, over here, right? So you have your hip joint, okay, and you have your spine joint, okay, and both of them are around these vertices, okay, ring of vertices. So what I can do is I can actually select this ring of vertices here at the waist, okay, as you can see here, and I'm going to give it like first maybe 100% to the hip, okay. So the hip joint, I give it 100%, okay, and then I give 50% to the spine 1.5, okay. So now they are kind of 50-50, right, towards each other. So if I were to kind of rotate my hip, okay, right, it can still follow the hip while it still maintains a bit of weight to the spine as well. So if I were to kind of rotate the spine, okay, it has a little bit of influence here as well, okay. So you can kind of think about that, okay. So for example, if I were to bend it down like this, you can kind of see, oh, there's very huge roundedness like this. That means this particular vertex here, vertices here, okay, you should have more influence on the spine instead of the hip. So if you open up, then you can see even the thigh has some kind of control over it, okay, which you do not want. So for example, you can say, okay, the thigh 0, okay, that means you remove any influence of the thigh, okay, on these vertices here. So there's left thigh, also there's right thigh, okay. Where's the right thigh? Okay, make sure nothing else is controlling it, right? So what I can do is I can give more to spine, okay, or in fact I can give like maybe 100% to the spine 1, okay. So then you can kind of see, okay, you have a more of a acute angle here, okay. So if I were to smooth it, right, okay, something like this. Now if you find that, oh, it's such a weird angle that is bending, okay, then you can give it back to the hip just slightly. So maybe I go to the hip and then I put maybe 0.1 to kind of ease off on that, okay, or 0.15, okay, to kind of push it back, or 0.2 for example, okay. So at least you get a very nice curve in that sense, okay. So for those people who find painting it's a little bit of a challenge for you, okay, you can use this method to kind of quickly block out areas or region or even portions of the vertices to the closest vertex that you can find, okay. Right, so here more towards the spine 2 joint, okay, and here more towards the spine 3 joint, right, and maybe the hands all can go for the moment go to the spine 3, okay, until we move forward. When we start doing the hands and the heads and stuff like that, okay, we can then give it to the respective hand joints, okay. But for the moment, anything at the top here, okay, we can give it to the spine 3 to control it, okay, 100% at the top, okay. For example, what I can do is I can do something like this, right. So I select the top portion, okay. So I make sure that this goes to this top spine joint, okay. That means spine 3 I can give it like 100%, okay, 1.0, right. So it follows the top one entirely, right. Okay, so there you go. So this is technique 2 in skinning. So with this you can kind of weigh which technique you prefer better. Okay, if you like the painting technique, you can go ahead and use the paint weight tool, or if you prefer to kind of block out using the vertices and numbers, you can use this component editor method.